I think the end has finally come for me. I don't think I'll ever find a wife. I don't think I'll ever find a girlfriend. I think I'll just be alone the rest of my life. Now, ever since my girlfriend dumped me like a little over a year ago, I've been looking for another one, of course. And let's just say, and this is from my only personal experience that I know, so this may be different, I've gotten over 1,000 matches with women in the past year, okay? And maybe 20 of those girls I actually went out with and got to know. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, the reason is, I'm ugly. You're just ugly and you don't know how to talk to women, so there's your problem. Stop talking, stop thinking about it. It's that simple, right? I disagree. I think there's a much deeper issue at hand here. Now, I've talked to a lot of friends personally. I've read a lot of things online about people who go through this just the same. And it all seems to be the same trend here. The main thing is, a lot of times people will just ghost you. Now, for me, I get ghosted by girls. If girls, I'm sure get ghosted by guys, because I'll sometimes ghost women as well. But the point I'm trying to make is it's such a weird culture. All right, guys, so I whipped out some data for y'all just because I really do want to show you what I'm talking about here. So this is one of my Hinge accounts. My last one got deleted for some strange reason. So I made another one like a month ago, and I just want to show you what it looks like. And I don't know whether or not this is comparable to others. I'm sure it is, but this is really interesting to me, right? So if we scroll from the top and we scroll down, these are the amount of people that I've interacted with over the past month, right? So I matched with these, I think it was like 180 girls or something. So let's look at some examples of these conversations and where they end up going and kind of just how depressing some of them can be. So this is Catherine. I say hello. She says, "Hi, Noah. You have really nice eyes." It's awesome. I just got validated. Great. I say, "Really? You have nicer eyes. Wow." She says, "Why, thank you." And I say, "You were supposed to say no. You do, right? Because that's just typically how it goes." She says, "Oh, let me try again. No, you do." Okay, great. I say, "OMG, do I really?" I say, "No way in heck. Your eyes are way nicer." So, call me crazy. That's just a terrible conversation. Yes, it's probably my fault, but in reality, we just both validated each other, and then that was it. Like, okay, now she thinks I have nice eyes, and I told her that she has nice eyes. Like, I guess what is the point of going any further, right? So let's see if we can find some more kind of similar to this. Okay, so I may have forgotten to respond to this girl. Yeah, she's kind of cute. You know what? She's too tall. 5'11", that's too tall for me. I'm only like 5'10", so I ghosted her. Guilty. Here we go. She says, "OMG, you again," right? So this is my second Hinge profile, so she probably got, I probably matched with her before. She says, "OMG, you again." I say, "Hello, how have you been?" "Good. How about you?" And then I say, "Can you rate a pickup line for me?" She says, "Okay, why not?" And I say, "Do you want to kiss me?" Ghosted. Now, I don't really know whose fault that one was. I just don't think she was very receptive. Okay, so here's another one. I say, "Hey," to Caroline. She says, "Hello, Noah." I say, "What's it like to lose your virginity?" And then she says, "Underwhelming, totally slut move." And then she says, "How about you? How are you a virgin?" I say, "Yes, I am a virgin, and it sucks. How do I lose it?" Okay, so that didn't get me anywhere. I definitely messed that one up. I'm taking all the blame there. So this is Alex. Let's see what Alex has to say. Hello, Alex. She says, "Hello, do you live in New York?" I say, "No, I live in Austin." She says, "Why does it say New York?" I also live in Austin. I say, "I don't even know, but I am in Austin right now. What are you doing?" And then she replies back, "Hey, this looks like it's okay." A day later, I say, "What's up?" She says, "I feel like I've met you." I say, "In real life, maybe." I say, "Where do you stay at?" "Hyde Park area." And then I just hit her with the new phone, who dis. I don't know who's gonna take the blame there. I don't know if that was my fault, her fault, but regardless, another one down the drain. Now, the most depressing part about that is the fact that I think I only actually got to go on a date with one of the girls, and she ended up being really cool. Or actually, no, I lied. I went on 2 dates. The first date was awesome. The second date was good too, but I wasn't that into her physically, right? Her photos were a little obscured, which I tend to find to be a trend, right? But none of this is that bad, right? What's bad is the fact that the closing, right, is like less than 1% almost. From what I can understand, that isn't just me. Like, it could be the fact that, I'm really bad at talking to girls, which maybe I am. But from every other person I've talked to, this seems to be a common theme. And I think it is a real problem with people, because then you kind of, you get down on yourself, right? Because, oh, you know, maybe I am ugly, maybe I can't talk to girls. And B, I think you feel like you're being used, because a lot of times you just interact with these girls, you say something, and this goes for girls too and guys, right? Like, it's on both sides. But I think people use each other for validation, and that's it. There's no more need to like go any further to actually interact in person, because it's just, I've already been validated. So I think the other main problem is people have a lot of options, right? Especially like if you're, say, a 9 out of 10 girl on a dating app, there's really no reason you're not going to get swiped on by every single guy that uses that app. So now when you swipe right on a girl that's, say, you know, a 9 out of 10, so did every other guy. So now you're competing against every other male who swiped on her, which is almost everyone. And that is the issue, right? That is the underlying problem, is now this girl has so many options, right? Like different heights, different professions, different everything. And she can choose, right? Males, they don't necessarily have this advantage. Hinge has basically said how it kind of has an algorithm set up, so it basically will look at your profile, see what kind of people are liking you, see what kind of people you're liking, and then actually make it so you only see certain people that are like in your league. So if you're an attractive person, then you see other attractive people, right? And this makes sense. Like, I think that's the way it should be. I've looked at like some friends' profiles and like, why are you not seeing like, you know, good looking women per se, right? And it's like, because his profile wasn't set up properly, yada yada yada, right? Problem is a lot of these girls that I do match with, I feel like if you were to put me at a table in front of them for just say an hour, right, I could most certainly get to know somebody. We could probably find out we're compatible. We would certainly find out a lot more about each other than just using these dating apps and ultimately getting nowhere. Something I thought that was really interesting was, and you know, call me an idiot or whatever, I decided to pay for Hinge for 1 week. It was just like the basic thing where you could basically just send unlimited likes. It was like $15, which is kind of fucking outrageous, but whatever. I mean, I sent probably well over 100 likes in that time period. And what I think I learned from that was that it is just not a viable way to talk to people, right? So here's an example. I send out as many likes as possible to all the girls who I think are attractive. And by this time I had my profile pretty well set up. And, you know, within a day or two, I had a bunch of matches, a bunch of girls I was talking to. And I think at one point it said like I had like 80 people I was like waiting to like respond to, which is crazy. Like, there's no way that you could actually have a genuine conversation, let alone get to know somebody when you're talking to that many people. Hinge acknowledges this, and a lot of other dating apps as well. Basically, what they're about to implement is where you can't have more than like 8 people you're talking to at once. I think you only have like a certain amount of time to respond to them, and if you don't respond to them, you get like you know, a strike or whatever. I don't know exactly how it works because they haven't really rolled it out yet, but the bottom line is that it is an issue for everybody, so much so that like the actual, you know, company itself has decided to take action towards it and try to figure out an alternative to this issue that's been going on. So my thoughts on this are, and probably your thoughts too, was you probably look back and saw the messages that I was sending to girls and be like, well, how do you expect to get dates with sending, you know, messages like that? There's no substance to them. They're just obviously meant for like comedic effect. All I can say is those messages are real, and the only reason I've done that is because over time I've learned that like even having genuine conversations with girls, right? Like, say you have this 10 out of 10 conversation for like over a week about this girl, like what they're into, what they do for fun, what they do for work, describing their jobs, you talk to them, and then it leads nowhere. This is a very common thing that happens. So I quickly learned that you can't talk to girls for like more than honestly 2 days before just saying, hey, let's go out and meet in person. Anything that carries on for more than 2 days, I don't do it anymore. So then where does that leave me, right? If girls aren't willing to go out like as soon as you interact with them, there's really no point in my head to like do any of it. The other thing too that I think about a lot is the fact that the girls that I have gone out with and have had a good time with were like so spontaneous. Literally, we exchanged 4 or 5 messages and then boom, we're going out. Those have been like the best dates that I've been on, where I didn't really know anything about them. I saw their pictures. Obviously, I thought, you know, I would probably be into them. And sure enough, I show up and it ends up typically being a great time. I've had a lot of good experiences like doing that. This, I think, needs to happen way more. I think people need to be more susceptible to this kind of like dating activities, because the whole like talking to people and then ghosting them is just awful. I guess to sum it all up, I've learned a lot having matched with so many girls, and I don't know whether that like is a standard number. Like, I mean, I guess you guys can let me know, is like 1,000 people a lot, or is that like not a lot? I have a feeling it's probably average. It really surprised me because, like I said, you would think there'd be a way better like a way better conversion, and there just isn't. And I don't really think it's completely user error. I think it has a lot to do with the way the system is just set up. So I'm really interested to know, what you guys think, or what anybody thinks about what's going on here fundamentally.